nervous because I'm here now.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin here with my co-host James Haskell, and in this episode, we're going to discuss some recent unfortunate COVID-19 news surrounding the Baltimore Ravens and this upcoming game. Before we do, if you could do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, give us a like. We really appreciate it. But I'm going to get right into the news. So one day after the Pro Bowl cornerback Marlon Humphrey announced that he had tested positive for COVID-19 and was put in the protocol, the Baltimore Ravens have placed 7 more players on the COVID-19 list, and that those players are inside linebacker Patrick Queen, outside linebacker Matt Judon, inside linebacker Malik Harrison, linebacker LJ Fort, safety Deshaun Elliott, outside linebacker Tyus Bowser, and cornerback Terrell Bonds. They were determined to Dr. Alan Sills, the chief medical officer for the NFL, determined that those players were deemed high risk and close contact with Marlon Humphrey. And that is the reason they have been placed on that list. So they have not, as far as I know, they have not tested positive. It was only Marlon that has. They were just high risk. Is that correct, Jimmy?
You're right. Correct.
Okay. All right. And you have some more details on the
yeah,
story?
Exactly. So according to the reporting that we've been able to follow up on, there is I don't want all you guys to fall out of your chair and think, well, this game's over with because they're going to be fielding they're going to be
That's
fielding
some good players.
Yeah, they're going to be fielding the game Sunday with Glenn and I starting at inside linebacker. Not a good place to be.
Ooh, we don't want that.
Not a good place to be for the Ravens. But so the good news is that what that means is that if they isolate for 5 days, if all of them isolate for 5 days, which they'll have to be isolated for 5 days, and pass COVID tests during every day this week up into Sunday, they can still play on Sunday if they pass the test. Now, obviously, being isolated for 5 days, they're not going to be practicing. They're probably not going to be exercising very much. I know Judon is a Peloton guy, but other than that, I don't know how much real exercise they're going to be getting in. And obviously reps with the team. We're talking about, there's 2 rookies and a former practice squad guy on there that need the reps. Bonds, obviously, we saw out there on Sunday, not looking great.
Well, all guys that are key contributors on the defense. My goodness, it's bad enough that we know that Marlon's going to miss the game. There's no doubt about that. But now you talk about it's all starters when you look at it, especially after Marlon goes down. Terrell Bonds is certainly going to be used a lot in this game when corners already when your number one corner is already down. So you're right. It's good news that they do still have a chance to play. Hopefully none of them actually end up testing positive for COVID. But it's a concern nonetheless because they're not going to be in practice. Now they'll be doing the Zoom meetings. I'm sure they'll be putting extra Zoom meetings in with their coaches. But that can only go so far. You can't do the physical reps. You can't do the walkthrough of the plays. Now, I guess if you had to, I guess if I had a preference, I'd prefer it be defensive players like it is than offensive players, because you definitely don't want offensive players missing a week of practice. Not the way they've looked as of late, and especially when you consider Ronnie Stanley's out for the season now, placed on IR. And then recently, they placed Tyree Phillips, the guard, on IR. Now he's on the short-term IR, but he has to at least miss 3 games. So they're banged up elsewhere on the offensive side. So, man, I really hope that they can get out there and they can suit up, because Jimmy, if they can't, who's the linebacking core for the Baltimore Ravens when you see Queen, Judon, Harrison, Fort, and Bowser could potentially miss this game? That's not good. When you look at that offensive line for Indy, one of the better units in the league, that's scary to think that these guys could all miss.
Yeah, absolutely. And think about it on top of that. Of course, Alaka, we had depth. We talked about this at the beginning of the season. We were surprised they kept 5 inside linebackers. Board has been playing well. So you got him left. You got Alaka, who has a season-ending knee injury, had a season-ending knee injury a few weeks back. So if I'm not mistaken, my math is right, we have one guy that was on the active roster last week that plays middle linebacker so far set to play on Sunday. Now, I'm not saying obviously we could have my guys move up from the practice squad, but one guy that was in the game last week at that position, so that's a huge concern. And then of course, the corners, you talked about it. It started with Tavon going down, and then you got Averett going down, and now you got Marlon out. This is our mainstay, right? Like in the back end, obviously we had the whole Earl issue happen, but that's played out to our favor, I think. I've liked Shiley. Now he's going out. Well, he's out right now on the list at least. Yeah. So you got Chuck and you got Jimmy. And you got Peters.
You got Peters.
And you got Peters.
Don't forget about him.
Which is, I guess that's good. That's for 3 guys, that's great. But the problem is you need more than 3. Who else are you putting around these guys? Yeah. Right. So
now Levine's been banged up as of late. So it's not like you got his veteran, that veteran you could put in. But I really, really hope that at least the vast majority of these guys are able to suit up, because even without practice, these guys are going to play a lot of snaps in this upcoming game, and they're going to be relied upon. Yeah.
Now, you know what I think would be cool? You did mention this before the shows, that they are talking about the potential of pushing the game back one day if need be. However, that would mess up. Of course, Indy is going to a game on Thursday. Now, this would be really cool. This could be fun. So if they push the game back a week, right? Or sorry, not a week, a day, to Monday. So they do a doubleheader on Monday, right? The Ravens have their guys. And then we get some Friday night NFL football. You do, instead of Thursday night, you get Friday night, like Friday Night Lights, but NFL. I don't know. That could be cool, right? Like,
that could be cool, but I think it's more likely that they scoot it back to Sunday rather than have them play on Thursday. Just the following week, have Indy and I believe it's the Titans that they're scheduled to play on. Thursday
just add a game to Sunday.
Yeah, just add a game to the Sunday docket. I don't see why that's a big problem.
I just wonder how that would mess up, like.
Well, TV, they're going to miss out on the Thursday night revenue, which I'm sure they're not happy with. But they've done it earlier this season. They did it where we didn't have a Thursday night game, so it's not something that's unprecedented. But I would not be happy going into that game, because Indy played well last week. They, Phillip Rivers played a little bit better. I know that they have some banged up running backs, but still, that would be scary going into that. So hopefully these guys can get healthy, get back on the field, and really, hopefully Marlon's back, and doesn't show any adverse effects from the disease. Most people have been able to bounce back, especially when you consider these guys are high level athletes. So hopefully these guys will all come back healthy and be able to play. 7 of these guys will be back this Sunday, and Marlon in a couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, wow, neither of us can talk today apparently. You guys let us know what you think. Are you as nervous as us? I mean, obviously we're both nervous about it. Also, who do you think will step up and step into these roles? Who are you looking forward to seeing? Also, what do you think will happen? Do you think the game will get moved? Do you think that some of these guys will come through and be able to play? Give us all your thoughts. Leave us your comments. This is an important moment for the Ravens in this season. So let us know what you think, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.